Culticare program is a professional development program for teachers. It starts with a year-long professional development sequence for teachers designed to really help teachers deepen their ability to care. And then the following year, teachers actually bring that work into the classroom. So it combines combines elements from the fields of neuroscience, contemplative studies, and what we know about social emotional learning.
We start the day with just breathing in and out and breathing in all of our stress and things and taking it out. And then we're ready for the day and we're ready to take maybe some challenges that may come.
Something about breathing in and out just helps your body feel a lot calmer and get you back on course.
So nearly 3 years ago, His Holiness the Dalai Lama called on Mind and Life to develop a curriculum for students and teachers to foster their capacity for compassion and care. And Mind and Life took up this challenge, I guess you could say, and called together a large group of experts in education, neuroscience, developmental psychology, contemplative practice to come together and basically assess the state of the field and discuss how Mind and Life could make an impact and support existing work like this in education. Call to Care is a program to help educators and students develop their capacities for care and compassion. And it draws on the wisdom of social and emotional learning programs, best pedagogical practices, and also rich contemplative traditions that offer methods for fostering compassion. So they're not religious methods.
And take in one more big breath and let it go. And I want you to try right now to imagine, to bring to mind that person or that place, your dog, your mom, your dad, your house, being right here. That place that makes you feel really comfortable and at ease. And really try and get a picture in your mind right now. And just notice that place.
Mindfulness is very popular now, and the Call to Care framework is a little bit different than just the strict mindfulness movement. So while we are helping kids to cultivate attention, right, what Call to Care is doing is not just helping kids cultivate and educators cultivate attention for the sake of cultivating attention, but actually combining what we know about social emotional learning. We're not just engaging in contemplative practices, but we're also spending time working on our pro-social skills, how we communicate with others, how we see others, learning to look beyond our biases, beyond our in-group and out-group, to really begin to think about how we are all connected and thus be more compassionate.
Well, it helped me calm down, and it helped me and my friends not be so angry at each other anymore. So
yeah, it definitely makes me a better friend because mindfulness makes me kinder.
Imagine if this generation will grow up with love and compassion toward each other. We have to start it now, and we keep moving forward. We have to be it, we have to live it, and we have to bring this generation up so that their children and their children's children, because it has grown up in the hearts and minds of people, of course, the separation, the divide, and it doesn't have to be that way. If we're going to create a better world, a world that works for everyone, where everybody can really hear each other and really support each other, it starts with us understanding and loving ourselves, and then we can spread that love out. And we won't have to see another generation, who are destroying each other.
Our program is organized around what we call 3 modes of care: receiving care, self-care, and extending care. And within each of those modes, we offer practices to help both teachers and students to learn how to be in relationship with others.
To explore these modes of care personally first, I think it was a vital part of bringing it to my classroom.
It was very hard at first because we're so focused as educators to think about what we can do for our students. And it was really, last summer was about me and the other teachers and what we need to do to take care of ourselves, which I think came at a pivotal time for me. After teaching for 7 years, it's very emotionally draining to take care of students and work with students who have very difficult situations, and you sort of take that on, you sort of carry that. I've had students whose parents have been shot. I've had students who were shot themselves through their window on a Thanksgiving. It was a gang fight outside, and it's a lot. You sort of hold that, and in a way, I was sort of at another place where I wasn't sure I could keep teaching, but after last summer, sort of realizing that I had to take care of myself more, to open myself up to continue to take care of my students. So it was definitely a pivotal time. And to sort of think about, it's like when you're on the airplane with the oxygen mask and they say, you know, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then the children, call to care was very much that oxygen mask for me and taking care of myself.
Every teacher mentions this, right? It's so rare to have a program that starts with you. It's so rare even to have a program that starts with input from educators. I mean, I think that was what was surprising when we began with Mind in Life, and that's what I keep hearing educators say. You know, this summer at our institute, a lot of people said this, like, wow, I've never actually been part of a professional development that was about me first. I know my students are coming, and it's really hard for teachers actually to hold off. We're often saying, so what does this look like in my classroom? What does this look like in my classroom? But the truth is, if we don't do it ourselves, if we don't take that time to really steep in the principles, to really practice it, to actually see what this feels like, to recognize that it actually is really difficult, then we can actually imagine that this can be effective for students. We really do need teachers to take care of themselves, to do this first. And then they're able to actually figure out, like, this is what this looks like for my kids.
Our program is a way of helping teachers build these skills and capacities that we think will help them avoid or prevent burnout or deal with burnout in some way. And it's not an attempt to add another thing on their plate. It's almost an attempt to get in underneath and address some of the underlying difficulties, which are helping teachers learn to take care of themselves, learn to become part of a community of teachers that can support one another in fostering this work.
The call to care really helped heighten my understanding of the importance of self-care, and which is a concept that is largely neglected in public education in my experience, and also dearly needed.
We come to the self-care mode practices after we've spent a lot of time in receiving care and after we've spent a lot of time building communities.
Sort of take some of the stress off. You feel like you're sort of sharing the load as opposed to carrying the weight of your students' needs all by yourself, which is, you can't do that for a career.
Receiving care I think of as us being taken care of. Then self-care, we take care of ourselves. And then extending care, we start to take care of others. And then the extending care mode, this is when we start to look outward into the world in a sense. And we think we have this natural capacity for care. So our ability to extend care or be kind to others that are in our family or that are like us is actually really easy. But it's extending care or kindness to the people that are not in our in-group, so to speak, or aren't like us in some way, or worse, that have wronged us in some way. That's where the work comes in. That's where the rubber meets the road, right? And there we feel like we can actually offer actual practices to help us develop our empathy for others.
I think the extending care mode really is where it all comes together, where we learn, the benefits of feeling comfortable and safe, and also the benefits of practicing being okay with our emotions and really learning to respond to our emotions in healthy ways come to play in our ability to actually interact and welcome others.
I was really tired and they wanted to play in my room, and so I told them to get out, but then when they got out, I noticed I was being too rough on them, and so I just took 3 deep breaths and then I let them back in.
The call to care framework and these 3 modes of care go beyond just training attention. And in fact, while it's nice to have kids be quiet and meditate, I think actually a lot of this is pretty noisy. A lot of what's happening, a lot of the practices and activities that are happening with kids is they're interacting with each other. They're talking with each other, they're role playing, they're learning to see their classmates, they're building communities. So while our students might spend some time in contemplative practice, right, that's not actually the end all, that's not the sole whole kind of core activities that we're doing, that's one piece of this bigger model. So it's not just about sitting quietly or being focused for a test. I think those are great pieces, but it's actually a lot more. It's really about forming relationships, learning to be okay with yourself so that you can accept others, so that you can be in larger community, and together we improve the world.